Welcome back to our channel, everyone. I am V.
I'm Kay.
And this is our special guest,
Chaos.
Chaos! And this is K and V TV. Today, I'm going to be telling you guys about the Ace family. Do you know who the Ace family is?
No.
Do you know who the Ace family is, K-Dos?
Yeah, I know who this family is.
So the Ace family...
Just to recap, that's the one dude that made like the hella cringy videos with his girlfriend.
Which girlfriend?
We'll
get into it. I'll introduce you. I'll introduce you to the Ace family. So the Ace family is a really popular family vlogging channel here on YouTube. So Austin McBroom started his career as a very promising college basketball player. He was really popular. He was like leading his team. He was doing really, really well. I don't know anything about sports, so if you guys wanted more in depth on that, tough luck. Go somewhere else. Go watch, I don't know, 2016 basketball videos.
I couldn't even tell you shit about that.
No.
Sorry.
Catherine Paez started her career, started her career as a Victoria's Secret model. In 2015, when Kathy was well known to be hanging out with Michael B. Jordan, she bumped into Austin McBroom at a party.
Oh. Sus already. Yikes.
They began dating only a few months later, and in May of 2016, they would have their first child. Then 3 months later, in July,
that's quick as fuck.
Yeah, it is. I think it was 4 to 5 months from what I could find.
Shit, dude.
And 3 months after that, in July, they would start their first YouTube channel called Catherine and Austin Vlogs. And they would do cute little pranks, like making my boyfriend think he caught me cheating, right? 2016, product of its time.
Right.
You know, every other prank channel. With Austin's popularity in basketball and subscribers on YouTube growing, one tends to aim for the sun. But when this next session, we're going to call upsetting behaviors. These are things that Ace family has done or has been accused of doing, and they're not exactly kosher. These are not in... I was going to make this video in like sequential order, you know, from beginning to end, but it just... it didn't line up right. So these are out of order, but I'll give you around what year everything happened.
Right.
So, unsurprising to anyone, the family has been accused for many, many years of not properly disclosing sponsors, right? Paid content.
Right.
So the FTC, at least now, requires that you verbally state in a video. It has to be written somewhere, not only on screen where it can be seen,
like in description,
but in the description, somewhere very visible. So people look at that and they go, that's an ad. And then they go, oh, look, right there. They put ad, right? Austin and Catherine don't do that. Hardly ever, if at all, let people know that they're being sponsored. In fact, in May of 2022, the Ace family would start accepting sponsorships from a gambling app.
Oh, jeez.
They would not properly disclose these sponsorships, and their majority audience, if you couldn't guess from the fact that they're a family vlog, is children.
Oh,
so they're promoting gambling apps to kids.
children.
And in these gambling apps, it's not in-game currency. It's real-life money.
Of course it is.
Oh, man. On August 16th of 2018, there was an alleged break-in to the Ace family home. Nothing was taken, but a cooking knife, like a kitchen knife, was taken out of the block and moved upstairs. Austin would post about this on his Twitter, talking about how he's terrified and quaking. On August 20th, they would post a YouTube video claiming they had spent 6 hours at Disneyland, and when they arrived home at 9:30 p.m., they heard glass shattering. Immediately, Austin and Catherine rushed everyone out of the house, realizing that the back door had been smashed, and they called 911. When officers arrive, the Ace family goes into the house to investigate with them, and are almost cracking jokes, talking about TMZ's out front already.
What the fuck?
Austin and Catherine would even pose for a thumbnail with their child at the broken back door. Police took the picture.
What the hell?
Quote unquote. Police.
Suspicious.
That's weird.
Later on, a receipt from a shop called Top Cop Shop LA would state that Austin had ordered 5 fake officers, 1 fake sheriff, and 5 fake cars for the day of August 16th.
No fucking way.
Catherine would tweet out denying these claims in like a notepad statement. They would go on to send proof to Keemstar, who would post it on their behalf. However, netizens would quickly point out that this proof, which is a real police report, the date on this real police report said August 15th.
What the fuck?
And what day did it say that they said that it happened?
16.
Austin tweeted it out the day later on August 16th.
So he basically recreated the crime scene.
It wasn't good enough for film, so he remade it.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
And the length that this man is going for
Oh,
fame.
we are just at the tippity tip of this iceberg.
No, seriously.
Austin then went on Instagram Live showing more evidence in the form of a video of a woman coming up claiming that she was there to dust for prints. He said that this happened on the 17th, the day after he claims there was a break-in.
They wouldn't wait till the day after.
They would not, and
Yeah.
Austin slept in the house that night. There is absolutely no way.
I wouldn't be able to sleep in the house that night. The fuck?
Well, not even just on the fact that you would be too scared to sleep in the house. The police wouldn't let you. It
It's
would
a
be an
crime
active
scene.
crime scene. There's no way.
Especially if they believed that it was a break-in.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure at that point the state would pay for a hotel for you.
And even if they didn't, I think they'd at
They-
least advise you to go stay with family or somewhere else. In 2018, Austin's racist and colorist and sexist tweets from 2012 and 2013 would resurface. This was around the time that he was starting Social Gloves, by the way, that comes up later. The tweets were specifically targeting women of color with darker complexions, talking about how he wanted white women, paler women.
Isn't his girlfriend like Mexican?
I am not sure what her ethnicity is. To excuse his behavior, he would he'd get his mom to go on videos and basically go, no way. My son's not racist.
What?
Yeah.
Because that's...
The problematic started way before.
Oh, his
Oh my
mom
God.
comes up later. We don't like
Oh.
Mommy McBroom.
Mommy McBroom babies her child, doesn't she?
Mommy McBroom is to put it lightly, to put it nicely.
Oh, jeez.
Allegedly.
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 Do not go after
Big
Mommy
allegedly.
McBroom.
Or, you know.
Please do not send hate to anyone. We are not advising that you go harass anyone or send them hate,
But you are your own person, so.
but we wouldn't stop you. To begin this, I don't know if this store was actually a Spencer's, but if you guys, do you guys know what Spencer's is?
Yeah, I know what a Spencer's is. That's the place with the toys in the back.
Yeah, the phallic stuff in the back, right?
Yeah, the fun adult toys.
Well, in
We've all visited
January,
Spencer's.
in January of 2019, Austin would post a video to his Snapchat of him buying his niece a peeped lollipop from what looks like a Spencer's.
How old is she?
She's 6. At the
Holy
time.
actual-
No.
Mm-hmm. The niece in question was about 6 years old, and according to Austin, she was threatening to steal it if he didn't buy it for her. However, in the video, you can clearly see that she's not tall enough to reach it. This caused a pretty
Even
big
if she
stir.
was, dude, she's a child. Pick her up and walk her out of the store and get her a different lollipop.
Why
bro.
did you have a 6-year-old in Spencer's?
Here we go.
Where those specific things are kept?
Right.
Like, don't
In
bring
the
a
back?
6-year-old to the back of a Spencer's in general.
No,
Well-
you know.
And to be clear, I do not know if the store was specifically a Spencer's, but they
Right.
had a similar layout, which
No,
is
and
why
I'm
it
sorry,
leads me
but
to
if there's
believe.
anything sex related, your child should not be present unless
No.
you're like literally unless your child is asleep and like an infant, bro. Like
And if-
too small to be left alone. Like,
And
or,
if you're
like,
really
with another
of the
parent at
opinion-
front.
If you're really of the opinion, well, she's too young to know what that is. To her, it's just a piece of candy. Then why are you posting it on
on
Snapchat?
Snapchat, thinking it's funny.
Yeah, if you just kept that private and you were like, you know what, it's just candy, she doesn't get it, like,
It's just
I'm just gonna
candy.
buy her this lollipop and it'll be a secret,
Secret.
like, I'll take her home.
Then I'll give it to her.
Why are you posting it on Snapchat?
Like,
It'd be one thing if it was like a funny thing within the family when she was older, like, oh, haha, remember that time you gave me a dick lollipop? Like, don't take your children in an area like that.
also, you don't know who is on your friends list.
Yeah.
It was their public Snapchat.
Oh my god,
That's
that's
even
even
fucking
worse.
Yeah.
Because, like, the child vloggers that have posted their child have come out and they're like, the DMs that we get. So it's not like he doesn't know that he's
Pudding.
entertaining.
And this wasn't even his child, this was Catherine's niece.
Ew.
So he's putting someone else's child out for predator.
Mm-hmm.
That is so messed up.
Oh, keep that in the back of your mind.
Oh,
Other people's
lovely.
kids?
I can't wait to hear what he does with his own.
I try to keep the kids out of it because, again, they're kids, they're innocent on all this, but
Poor child.
it comes up. In September of 2019, the Ace family would be called out by a neighbor's family member on Twitter. This person reached out to Philip DeFranco for YouTube a week or whatever.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But he nominated the Ace family because they were riding their jet ski in their pool, causing chlorine water to overflow the side of the cliff that they're on, because they were living on like a hill. And the chlorine water and mud would run off into the like grapevines that this man was growing, and it was destroying his family's property, destroying their plants, just like wrecking their shit. OP also would tweet out a link of the Ace family's video where Austin is riding a jet ski in the pool. And you can, in this video, hear someone screaming, "Stop."
Oh my
What the hell?
gosh.
Mm-hmm.
At least be smart enough to edit that out.
Netizens attacked this man, calling him jealous of their wealth.
What?
Are you kidding me?
OP got like torn to shreds for it. In the beginning, anyway. Catherine would tweet out a bunch of smiling emojis. Like, that was it. And someone was like, "What's going on?" And she was like, "Oh, nothing. Just people hate to see happy people minding their business, living their life, and staying in their own lane. So I'm
What?
just smiling at them."
What? What?
Like, you're ruining someone else's property.
They're-
They probably use those grapes for either wine or something.
That's probably their entire livelihood, bro. Like, most
Probably.
people who do that kind of take the kind of time to take care of their land like that use that kind of stuff to like withhold their entire life. Like,
I don't think it was
Or
their
uphold.
livelihood, but it was a very important part of their property.
Right.
Like, it meant a lot to them.
right.
And I don't care if it is your livelihood or it's just sentimental. If it means
Either
a lot
way.
to you and someone damages it,
It's wrong.
that's wrong. Austin would then tweet out, "Being fake mad really does exist, huh?"
What?
Fake mad.
Fake mad.
Fake mad about what? He's actually mad, bro. You his land.
Literally.
OP would end up deleting their initial tweets, stating that their uncle was trying to work things out with the Ace family, that they were going to talk.
They ain't talking no more. This means war.
No one.
In a later video, Catherine would claim that the first complaint went to their builders, not them. Don't know how that would work if the house had already been built, but okay. She went on to claim that the water could not have been falling into the neighbor's property because it's an infinity pool. And, oh, the amount of times that she mentioned the retaining wall at the bottom of the hill that retains the water. At the retaining wall. At the bottom of the hill where it retains the water, there's a retaining wall. In the videos OP posted, you can see water going over the retaining wall and spraying almost like a waterfall into their property.
That's
Right over the retaining wall.
not okay.
The retaining wall is meant for like little splashes for while you're playing in a pool,
Or making a whirlpool with your kids. Like,
not for riding a fudging
jet ski.
through. It's a pool. Why the heck You have a jet,
Jet
ski
ski.
in it in the
How'd
first.
you even get your jet ski in the pool? Is what
Yeah,
I want.
that's what I wanna
That's
know.
what I want to know because it's not a very large pool.
Pool.
I've seen it. The jet ski takes up most of the pool.
Pool.
And in that video, Austin himself claims that he's knocked out at least a quarter of the water.
Oh my gosh.
And Catherine says that's not something he should be proud of, and he laughs. And that's when you can hear someone screaming stuff.
This man is so stupid.
Even worse, in their own video, they get like an aerial shot with like a drone, and you can see water rushing
Slashing
down the
over.
hill.
So they have proof of ruining this man's property in their own video.
In their own video.
Please tell me this man has sought legal action against these people.
Not as far as I'm aware, no.
Sir, if you ever listen to this vlog, do me a favor, sue them.
Sue them.
You will win. They're stupid.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. They have proof, allegedly, in their own videos.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Did you guys know the Ace family has a private chef?
Really?
They always do. Yeah.
Excuse me?
One of their first private chefs was Chef Jasmine Touche. She was the Ace family chef from 2017 to 2018. In a video she posted to her brand new personal channel, she explained why she was no longer working for them.
Oh.
She told people that they had really inspired her and pushed her to make her own channel, that they thought she had a really creative mind and that they really thought she had what it would take to make it on YouTube, right? As she starts to explain why she left, she cuts herself off to address the negativity she's been getting and talks about how she won't tolerate it, she doesn't want it on her channel. If that's what you're here for, then leave. But never actually circles back to telling us why she quit.
Weird.
However, in 2018, Chef Touche would be seen in the comment section of some sort of video, replying to someone who asked if they paid her well. She would reply, "Pay well? LMAO. They don't pay anyone well.
What?
Look at the charity event for prime example." She would be referring to Social Gloves. Oh, we'll come back to Social Gloves,
Yeah.
don't worry.
What is Social Gloves?
A boxing event Austin hosted as I fall out of my chair. In October 2019, someone who worked for a pumpkin patch would tweet out that Austin McBroom came to buy 500 pumpkins at my work and didn't tip the 6 men that put them in the U-Haul, but offered them a picture, a effing picture. He asked for a discount, and his cameraman was nicer to me than he was. OP would later delete these, tweet out saying, "And y'all said I made it up. These men who work seasonal jobs to provide for their families deserved a tip, and yes, I deleted the tweet because I love my job, and especially my boss, and the power the Ace family has is scary." So I don't know if they were threatened behind the scenes. I don't know what happened between those two tweets. But the Ace family did post a video to their channel where they had over 500 pumpkins in their backyard, and they claimed that they would be giving them out to kids in need in the area. I don't know if that ever came to fruition. What happened with that?
Right.
I just imagine the 500 pumpkins rotting in their backyard.
Literally. Or them, like, smashing them or something.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't imagine them ever actually doing anything to help anybody.
No.
Like maybe carving a couple for their kids or their like nieces and nephews.
Or, like, their neighbors or something.
Or selling them. I can imagine them
Selling them.
Honestly, given the fact how they treat their last neighbor, I don't think they do anything nice for their neighbors.
I believe that.
And this next section I called Cooks for a Day. I would like to point out that they were not cooks. They were like the most incompetent pantry station I've ever seen in my life. However, also in October of 2019, Austin and Catherine would go to several restaurants and kind of play cook for a day because they never got entry-level jobs. So they wanted to cosplay normies. They cosplayed us and posted it all over YouTube. And this has been a hot topic with people.
But a lot of people were kind of mad.
I'm kind of split. I feel like there is a tasteful and respectful way that you can cosplay the
But like
working
making
class.
money off of it at the same time.
Again, I think there's a tasteful way, like the way Trisha Paytas does it. I don't mind it.
How does Trisha Paytas do it?
So first of all, she goes to restaurants that are okay with her being there,
Right.
and she actually like gets permission to work there, which all of these people obviously have to do. But she actually kind of busts her. Like, she puts in the work as if she just got hired. She has fun with it. She's smiling. She's sweet. She's like, "Hi, I'm Trisha Paytas. Welcome to Krispy Kreme." Like,
see, that's cool.
exactly. Like, you walk into Krispy Kreme expecting to get a donut. Oh my god, it's Trisha
Trisha
Paytas
Paytas?
for real?
And she's actually working.
Like that time Snoop Dogg
Yeah,
worked at the fast food. Worked at
Anything
it.
Snoop Dogg does, I like though.
See, so there is a
She's like
tasteful.
amazing.
So there is a tasteful and classy way that, you know, rich people can do
certain
entry level things.
Right.
Austin and Catherine kind of just made it feel like a joke. Like, I've worked in the kitchen and I was cringing so hard. I was like, nobody works like that. Watching him cut a banana was like watching a toddler learn how to use a knife for the first time.
That's uncomfortable.
As a line cook, you would literally be like quaking
In your boots.
Quaking.
I honestly would love to watch this.
I will show you clips in a little bit.
I,
It's so bad. If you think his Snapchat antics right now are bad,
honestly,
God.
I imagine the Kendall Jenner video where she's trying to cut the cucumber, was a zucchini or something.
yes, but he's cutting a banana. It's almost the same
Oh.
clip. It's almost the same clip.
That's so bad.
It's
That's
awful.
awful.
That is pretty fun.
Guys, remember, knife safety is very,
So
very important.
Over the years, Austin McBroom has been accused of cheating many, many times.
Because he's a
Surprise
whore.
to no one. Right? One of the most notable being that Tana Mojo, she alleged that she had gotten a call from Austin where she could hear Catherine screaming and asking if a lipstick was hers,
Whoa.
was Tana's. And in order to not break up the family, as Tana said, she said it was hers, but it wasn't. It was someone else's.
That's suspicious.
And that she was really sorry to Catherine. This was years later that Tana came out with this.
Sis should have told her sooner.
Yeah, what the hell?
Austin would tweet out calling Tana a dummy and saying that the lipstick was actually an entirely different woman's, like a third woman. It wasn't Tana's, it wasn't woman A, it was woman C.
So, like,
what?
Yeah, someone completely unrelated to Tana's story. Someone Tana hadn't even brought up. Like, completely out of nowhere. And then would claim that this wasn't gonna save Tana's little friend Bryce, or her little boyfriend Bryce, from the beating he was gonna get.
Oh.
This is also in reference to social gloves. Earlier this year, 2024, Austin would be exposed by a lonely man's accountant for sliding into her DMs asking to be her manager.
Oh,
She, being the absolute baddie she is, told him no, she doesn't need a man sticking his nose in women's business. Austin does not take the hint and continues talking about how his team is so confident they don't even require a contract. They'll make her money.
Excuse me.
They guarantee it.
That's sus. Weird.
She responds asking, "Wasn't your house just foreclosed on?"
No, for real.
It was. It was indeed. So this first one is called Jeep Giveaway. The only reason I know about this is because a YouTuber known as Troyce TV talked about it. I have not seen anyone else mention this anywhere at all.
Huh.
I did not know that this existed. This was not in any snark Reddits. This was nowhere. The only person I saw say anything about this was Troyce TV.
Okay, Troyce TV. What
So-
do you have to say?
According to Troyce TV, about 7 years ago, the Ace family announced a giveaway, and all you had to do to enter was be a subscriber and buy a hat.
Huh.
Easy enough, right?
Right.
The first place winner would get the chance to win a Jeep. The second place winner would get a chance to win $1,000.
Hold up.
A chance?
A chance. Yeah. Catching on?
That's a little weird,
Mm.
buddy.
Super weird.
And the third place winner would get a chance to win a brand new iPhone.
I have a feeling nobody got anything.
I couldn't find the results of this because, again, the only person I saw talking about it was Choice TV. But based on the verbiage used, I can come to the conclusion of how this went down.
They just got their money and
I'm pretty sure they just scammed everyone and nobody got the chance to win anything.
that's disgusting.
If you know more or you can find something that I couldn't, please let us know
Yes.
down below. Tell us in the comments.
We want to know.
Run me that engagement. In August of 2021, they would announce their transition from YouTube to Kick.
Kick?
Kick!
Wait, like
the
Kick that
texting
I was groomed when
Like
I was
most
a child.
of us were groomed on.
Yeah, but now they live stream on Kick too.
You can live stream on Kick now.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go download Kick just to look at this shit.
Well, when they were moving from YouTube to Kick, they didn't really have the best relationship with their subscribers, right? So, to encourage people to follow them over to a new platform, they announced another giveaway. In this giveaway, they would be giving out what was it? I think it was a Tesla, if I'm not
No fucking.
Yes, a Tesla. Yep, they were giving away a Tesla. And all you had to do to enter was follow them on Kick.
Ugh.
That was it. And a random winner would be selected. 15,000 people, which is approximately 0.08% of their audience, followed them to Kick.
Oh my god.
Austin and Catherine would later go on live and tell everyone that they had violated the terms of their own giveaway.
What?
Austin and Catherine had actually hired two or three other individuals to go through all of their Kick followers and find someone who was actually an Ace Family fan.
No fucking.
The person they chose to win was allegedly the first person to ever buy their merch. But they provided no proof of who this person was or that they were the first person to buy their merch.
Did they provide proof that this person got a Tesla?
No, but it doesn't matter. The terms were violated
Oh.
when the selection of the winner wasn't random.
Okay.
Like they already fucked that up.
So like they did that on purpose then, probably.
Yes, they wanted to ensure that it was a someone who was a fan of the Ace family. Instead of just some random was like, oh, well, I want a chance to win a Tesla.
So dumb.
When that's the entire point, and that's like how you bring.
And they admitted this on live themselves.
So messed up.
In February of 2021, Austin would go on to make an online program called How I Became a Millionaire. This would consist of 4 courses, right? And this humble program would cost you a measly $49.99 a month. A month.
A month?
A month.
Jesus Christ.
So you already have to have money in order to get this service.
Would you like to know what those 4 courses were?
Yes, please.
How to grow your social media platforms. How to make money on social media. How to start a business. How to grow your business. All of these can be found on WikiHow, by the way, for free.
Like the same steps he said?
I'm not sure. I was not going to go buy the course to find out.
I wouldn't either.
Another YouTuber named Atozy, on the other hand, they actually sat at the enrollment countdown, waiting for the clock to lapse so that they could enroll.
Jesus.
When the clock hit 0, it restarted.
No fucking way.
He was never able to enroll. I don't know if this was set up for specific people so that they couldn't get in there and see what Austin was selling. I don't know how that managed to come about, but it shows he wasn't able to, enroll as far as I'm aware. 2020, Austin and Catherine would announce that they were developing an app. They had a website for this app, and this app would be known as the Ace Club. So in the Ace Club, every member of their family, right? So Austin, Catherine, the children, the dog, would each have their own, tab. And this tab would be kind of like their own channel, right? You click Person's A's tab, you go to Person A's videos.
Right.
Right. They would also have somewhere for weekly live streams, exclusive content, monthly giveaways, special
Jesus.
events, and a merch shop. Right? Sounds pretty cool.
Right. If it was actually real.
Well, when the app launched, there was a promotion, so you could download it for just 99 cents. The next month, you would be charged $20, though.
Whoa.
No warning, either. They would not tell you, which is illegal. Initially, controversy rose when people came to realize that there was little to absolutely no content on the AIDS Club.
Oh my god.
The project was all but abandoned before it was completely abandoned. But they would continue to charge members for...
No fucking way.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
I'm not even sure how long they continued to charge members.
So they're stealing from people.
Right.
Essentially. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
There was a handful of videos and live streams. There were no giveaways, and the shop was never accessible. Finally, in January of 2021, Austin would respond on an Instagram live stream. In this live stream, Austin would say his arguably most famous line. The full quote is, "Unfortunately, the people that we partnered with for this venture, I don't really like to talk negatively. They just weren't good partners. They ended up unfortunately scamming us, and it kind of hurt us in a way because in reality, you guys got scammed."
What?
In July of 2022, the Ace family would host 2 events. The Ace Fest and a boxing match we'll get into later. That is not Social Gloves, but Social Gloves 2. Ace Fest was advertised as a carnival meets Disneyland, and it was anything but. So to start, you had 2 payment options. 3 tickets for $299 or 5 tickets for $499. 3 tickets would get you access to the event, a free autographed poster of the Ace family, a guarantee to meet the Ace family, and bonuses. 5 tickets would get you access to the festival, a free autographed poster of the Ace family, a guarantee to meet the Ace family, and bonuses, as well as free access to Austin's fight later that month, a chance to win a VIP pass to that fight, a chance to attend Austin and Catherine's wedding,
Whoa.
as well as an exclusive wedding gift from them to you. Ace family also advertised live performances, extravagant petting zoos, incredible rides, games, food, and more. At one point, the Ace family was called out for footage used in their ads for this, and it was actually from another YouTube channel that does, like, film, and the film was of the Coney Island Fair. Yeah, so they were trying to pass off the Coney Island Fair as their Ace Fest.
Jesus Christ.
After paying an arm and a leg for admission, attendees would come to realize that they did not get what they paid for.
Right.
There was hardly any games, something that you'd get at your local carnival in any state.
For like $20.
The food was actually separate. You had to pay for it yourself, and it was more
Wow.
expensive than an average carnival. As far I couldn't really see any drinks that weren't sold by the vendors. Like, you could not bring in a water bottle even. Eventually, the Ace family got tired during meet and greets, which obviously when you have 3 kids.
Right.
So they just abandoned doing the meet and greets entirely. So not everyone did get their guarantee to meet the Ace
Right.
family.
How many people attended?
I am not sure, but quite a few. Not as much as they expected, but quite a few people
They shouldn't have
attended.
sold to me.
And at this kids carnival, they were advertising Austin's fight. You know, like I mentioned. One of the ways they were advertising this fight was, you know those balloon popping games where you take the dart and you pop the balloon to win a prize?
Mhm.
They had his opponent's face on the balloons.
Whoa.
Aggressive.
Yeah. For kids. And at one point, he even gets all of the kids in the audience to say F Gib,
Whoa.
which was his opponent. And they don't say the F word, but they say F Gib, which is still, these are children. They don't get it. This is so inappropriate.
They're children. Why are you missing a child?
Another pretty well-known YouTuber known as Def Noodles actually attended the Ace Fest, and he went and interviewed people, like attendees, who would say that they did not get what they paid for it. And he even walked up to Austin and asked how he could learn to scam as good as they did. Catherine was very visibly uncomfortable during this interaction, and I do not blame her for that. But I also would like to know how to scam as good as them, because they got a lot of money from that.
Teach me your ways.
This next section is called Lies. We're going to start with a man called Urban Trademark. In July of 2018, the Ace family posted a video in which they drive around an ice cream truck. It's custom painted for their 10 million subscriber milestone, and they're giving out hats, shirts. They're selling their merch, right? Including, but not limited to, headbands. A few days later, Urban Trademark would post a video claiming Austin stole his concept. Urban used to work for a shop where he would come up with custom designs, and then people would come in, buy those designs, or, create their own, and then they would print those onto things like hats, sweatshirts, headbands.
Right.
One day, Austin McBroom walks in, and he says he loves the designs and he wants Urban's info. So they exchange info, and sometime later, Austin hits him up asking if he wants to collaborate. However, when Urban meets up with Austin, Austin seemed to expect a finished product already. Although they had not yet discussed anything.
Even though they're supposed to be collaborating?
Yeah, so this is their first meeting for the collab to discuss what they're creating.
No, I mean, like...
Right, yeah. So, yeah, he expects finished product. This is the first meeting. Insane. Despite this, Urban starts to tell Austin about his idea of setting up pop-up shops and, driving around a little van and selling merch. Urban was also generous enough to give Austin one of his coloring books for his daughter. But when he asked if he could get a picture of Austin holding the book, Austin acted really hesitant and defensive, telling him no, he wouldn't take a picture. And this is the same man who tried to give people a picture of him as a tip.
Right.
For helping load pumpkins into a U-Haul.
Right.
That's weird.
He said that after Austin's video and the merch, after he saw Austin's video and the merch he was selling and how familiar it looked, he was really upset. But when Austin caught wind of Urban's video talking about this situation, he hopped on Instagram Live and just completely mocked Urban, calling him a clout chaser, saying that Urban didn't want to work with him, not the other way around.
Whatever.
And acting as if Urban said that he invented the concept of the headband, not the concept of driving around a van selling merch. Unfortunately, Urban Trademark has never seemed to address the situation further. Around 2019 and 2020, compilations of unedited or accidentally included clips of the Ace family began to circulate. Some of these clips were seemingly harmless, whereas others showed potential abuse. In one of these clips, Austin and Catherine are trying to get out about 4 to 5 lines while their youngest and a puppy play near them. At one point, the puppy nips at their son. Again, it doesn't seem overly aggressive.
Right.
But Catherine pulls her onto her lap and then says, "Can you get off of me?" Pushes him off of her lap. Not aggressively, the way you would move a child from your lap.
Right.
And then picks him back up, not even 0.2 seconds later, and puts him back on her lap. So I don't know if this was just her getting flustered and trying to readjust him, but it took about 12 minutes for them to say 4 to 5 lines.
Jesus.
In another clip, Austin is yelling at Catherine while their 3 children are either in his arms or right next to him. He's yelling at her to stop recording because his hair doesn't look good and he didn't want this to be a recording day. You can see that Catherine looks nervous. I hate to say that she looks scared, but as someone who's been through DV, she looks scared.
That sucks.
That's awful. That's really awful.
In another clip, Catherine's she's in a Halloween costume, you know, a little more provocative of a Halloween costume.
Right.
And Austin doesn't seem very happy about it. This was supposed to be a prank. She was pranking Austin that this was her Halloween costume when it wasn't. At one point, he stands up straight. He's still maybe 5-10 feet away from her. He stands up straight, and you can see Catherine take a noticeable step backwards. And her entire, like, I'm no body language expert, but her whole body language shifts. It looks like a whole new person is standing in that room with him, and it's not the same woman who started that prank.
That's scary.
Was it like a scared change?
It seemed scared.
Oh, that's awful, bro.
Like, I've felt the way that she looked in that clip.
God.
In another clip, Austin is talking about how his butt is getting bigger because he's been working out. At that same moment, his very young daughter starts to crawl over him. They're all sitting on a lap together, you know, as kids do.
Right.
And he spanks her bottom and says, "Oh, God."
What the fuck?
This clip came from a live stream they uploaded to their Ace Club app.
That's...
He said, "Oh God," touching his daughter's butt.
Yeah. His own daughter's butt.
Ugh.
That is disgusting.
Yeah. Catherine didn't seem to notice, but she never addressed it later on because this clip circulated a lot and people were like,
That makes me sick to my stomach.
yeah. His brother's worse. We're gonna get into it in a minute. In 2018, Austin and Catherine would purchase 2 homes and an empty lot and attempt to combine all of them into a $10 million property. Neither of them had any building experience, and their combined net worth was only $20 million. To put that into perspective for you, their home would be about 50% of their net worth, right?
Right.
10 million, half of 20 million.
Right.
Mark Zuckerberg's house only cost 0.3% of his net worth. So they thought they deserved something better than Zuckerberg. Obviously, construction comes with many delays and mistakes. You have to go over everything over and over and over.
And you usually have to pay for a lot more than what you plan on.
Oh yeah, and you blow budgets all the time.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Real.
Despite this, pretty much everyone knowing this, Catherine would vent in a vlog about how she didn't realize it was going to take this long. How they signed a contract in earlier that year that the project would be done by November of that year.
Well,
And to think making a $10 million property would take any time less than a year,
right.
insanity.
Right.
But she didn't expect it to take 6, 7, 8 months longer than November.
Bro, what?
Regardless, the house would be finished, and the Ace family was very proud to show off their $10 million mansion. You know, in our cost of living crisis.
Right. Where most people are struggling to even feed their kids.
Right? In early 2021, rumors began to circulate that the Ace family was broke and losing their house. Austin and Catherine would staunchly deny this claim. They would go on and on and on that this was absolutely not true.
Yeah, okay.
But in October, the house would be repossessed and returned to the lender. In November, they would address the situation, saying they were scammed by the builders as the renovations were not up to code. So when you build a house, you're given a certificate of occupancy. It's basically a permission slip from the government saying you're allowed to live there. The Ace family had been living in this house for at least 2 years with at least 2 very small children without a certificate of occupancy.
Whoa, bro.
I threw my mic. Good job, Violet.
What the actual hell?
Essentially, Catherine would, in a later video, tell everyone that they had been living with no hot water, no gas. Their front door was made of plywood.
No way, dude.
The floor tiles were lifting in spots, like you could just pick it up and rip it off of the. In other spots, it was completely uneven. Things, if you set it down, it would just roll like it was on a hill. Walls were splitting from the floor to the ceiling. The drywall was cracking, and almost every single pipe would leak.
In a brand new fucking house.
In a $10 million
dollar
brand new house. They claimed their contractor wasn't licensed and had been using someone else's and
That's
took their
your
money and ran.
fault. That's your fault, dude. You hired that contractor.
They claimed they had no idea for over 2 years.
Yeah, right, bro.
The lender did put the house up for sale for $13 million, and the Ace family would move into a rental. Keep that in mind, right? Netizens did what netizens do and kept digging, and netizens discovered that the house actually did pass inspection. However, it's unclear when the house passed inspection. So the house could have been re-inspected after it was returned to the lender and they fixed it up so it was up to code.
Right. Most lenders will before they try to sell it.
I would hope so. I would hope that there's nobody out there living with a plywood door still.
Well, I mean, they probably would try to sell it, like, to somebody directly if somebody came to them and said, like, we're going to fix it before we live in it. But, like, realistically, like, if nobody, like, already wanted to buy it off of them immediately, they would fix it and then sell it.
Well, the house is currently not for sale, so it has been purchased, but I am unaware if someone's living in it.
That's weird. Who
In
buys a $10 million home and doesn't live in it?
Rich people.
Oh my god.
Didn't Nicki Minaj buy a house just for her wigs one time?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Rich people, bro.
Cost of living crisis. Thanks,
Their
Nicki
fault.
Minaj. Allegedly. In September of 2023, Austin would tell everyone to keep their eyes peeled for a new house tour, dropping soon, right? You know, an announcement. They moved. They got another new house. He would also post that all of the other places were pretty, but something horrible always happened, or something terrible always went wrong. And they wanted somewhere they could, somewhere they truly loved. He actually says somewhere you truly love, not we truly love, which I think was super telling. Could have just been a slip of the tongue.
But it's also kind of weird.
You know, like one of those Freudian slips.
Right.
A house I think you guys will love.
Like subconscious.
Mm-hmm. In another video, Catherine would state that she had been living out of a suitcase while they were moving, and talks briefly about the contractor issue from the last bit.
Right.
She then claims that they were also scammed by the landlord they had rented from right after that.
What the fuck?
Yeah, she alleged that due to their fame and social media platform, the landlord requested a larger deposit than he would a normal person. Yeah, Catherine explains that typically you pay the first month and the last month rent, and then a deposit. But they were required to pay first month, last month, and 3 deposits. This isn't because, I don't know, maybe they're not trustworthy. It's because they're famous.
What about, like, their house getting foreclosed on, or, like, the eviction from the first rental property?
Only 3 years after living in it? Right. Yeah. No, for real. She says they were desperate and needed somewhere to go, so they just dealt with it. But when they decided they didn't want to buy the home, they moved out. After that, they moved to a new build, so a home that had just been built. But there were plumbing issues there too. So eventually the house just flooded. And they were told that they had to move out within the week. If they did move out within the week, they would receive their deposit back.
Oh, if they did?
If they moved out within the week.
Okay.
According to Catherine, they did move out within the week, but they never saw a dime back.
Yeah, right.
And allegedly, this deposit was $100,000.
I bet they left a bunch of shit and said that they had actually moved out.
I'm sorry, even at that point, $100,000? If you thought you were owed $100,000, would you not pursue legal action?
No, 100%. I would take you to court.
Absolutely. From what I can tell, the house they moved into after this is the house that Catherine is still living in to this day.
Huh.
Atta girl.
You guys want to talk about the lawsuits real quick?
Yeah.
So I'm no attorney, so we'll just cover this briefly. But there are so many lawsuits. So many. This could be a whole video in and of itself. And I think Swoop actually did a video about all the lawsuits.
So very brief then.
So in October of 2021, the city of Beverly Hills sued Austin McBroom for $200,000 for hosting an unsanctioned event called YouTuber Takeover Parade. In August of 2023, Austin would lose by default. I'm not sure if he didn't show up to a court hearing or how that came about.
Or if they just found, like, hard evidence or something.
Well, that wouldn't be by default. By default basically means that he didn't fight it.
Oh, okay. Maybe he admitted guilt.
That still wouldn't be default. Default is basically like you get no other choice. You didn't participate, so you lose by default.
Okay.
Right?
Alright.
In 2021, several individuals from, social clubs like LiveX Live, Bryce Hall, FaZe Jarvis, Harden, Little Baby, and more would sue Austin because he didn't pay them for the event. Some of these have been settled already. Some of I couldn't find updates for, and some are still ongoing. In 2020, Catherine partnered with TBL Cosmetics for a skincare line that would later be known as 1212 Gateway. Catherine was only meant to be the face of the brand, and TBL Cosmetics and their manufacturing company, 360 Sourcing Group, would take care of everything else. At some point, Catherine learned or was given the passwords to all of their websites and social media and signed everyone else out, leaving TBL Cosmetics helpless.
Jesus Christ.
They requested over and over the information back, but Catherine would run them through circles, never giving it to them. In their lawsuit, TBL would claim that they were on track to make $23.6 million.
Whoa.
Due to Catherine's incompetence in causing the site to crash so many times, they only made $7.1 million. That's a $16.5 million difference.
Jesus Christ.
360 Sourcing Group claimed they never even got paid.
Oh.
Not a dime. In the end, they settled with Catherine agreeing to pay over $763 million.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Or $763,000. Whatever.
Either way, dude. Jesus Christ.
It's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
That's more money than some people see in their whole lives.
In their whole lives. I don't have any updates on if she's paid all of that back, part of it back. I don't know. But she agreed to pay it.
Jesus.
In August of 2020, the Ace family would partner with Langer Juice Company. Heard of them? You've never heard of Langer's Juice Company?
No.
They are the #1 juice selling brand in the world. You have bought Langer's today, B. Langer's pretty much owns, I don't think they own Sunny D, but they...
Well, what are you talking about? I bought it today.
I will Google what brands they own, but they own, like, some of the biggest juice brands.
Sounds good.
But they partnered with the Ace family to make something called Silly Juice. It was a pretty basic juice concept. It was in those little, like, mini Gatorade-looking bottles.
Right.
There were 10-ounce little bottles, and for a pack of 6, you could pay about $15. Yeah.
Jesus.
Netizens who were brave enough to purchase the juice would find out that it was super sugary.
Ew.
And within only days of them buying it, there was mold growing in the sealed bottles.
That's nasty.
Mm-hmm.
That is disgusting.
In August of 2022, Langer's would file a lawsuit against Austin McBroom for not paying his invoices and attempting another hostile takeover. I don't know too many details, but allegedly, Alan McBroom, Austin's father, tried to take over the Silly Juice Company. Now, let's get into those sporting events I talked about briefly. In July of 2019, Austin would host his first charity sporting event, a good old-fashioned game of basketball. Austin and another YouTuber, Bryce Gum, would each have a team, and the winning team would be given all of the money that was raised by the event to donate to a charity of their choice. The event went seemingly smoothly until people began to point out that the amount raised and the amount donated were not
Were-
the same.
Different.
Approximately $543,000 was raised,
Mhm.
but the check awarded at the end of the game was only $75,000.
Whoa, what the hell?
Ooh.
That's a lot of missing money.
Austin would go on to claim that all of this missing money went to things like money, renting the venue, jerseys for the players, food, merchandise. Costs that should come out of his pocket.
When he
That's
decided to host the event.
Mm-hmm.
That shit should have already been in place before he got the donations.
Way before he got that.
Absolutely. Then, in June of 2019, Austin would host another basketball charity event.
Oh no.
Austin claimed in a video he posted that anyone could enter, and of those entries, contestants would be selected at random. Whichever contestant made the most three-pointers would win $100,000. And you could do whatever you wanted with this money, but
Yeah.
they highly recommended you give it to charity, which
Yeah,
is why he was
whatever.
able to slide charity into the title.
Right.
When Austin released the list of selected contestants, however, it was already rich and famous people. But there were 2 empty slots.
Are you fucking kidding me?
One of these empty slots, however, would be filled with one of Austin's famous basketball friends.
Wow, surprise, surprise.
Yeah, a pro basketball player
That's
for the
phenomenal.
charity basketball event.
Damn.
The empty slot was reserved for someone who would be selected at random from the crowd, right?
Right.
This random selection would end up winning the event, according to Austin. But it was later revealed that this was Austin Mills. Austin Mills is a nepo baby. His mom is really, really rich. You guys remember Social Gloves? I mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into it. In June of 2021, Austin would host yet another sporting event known as Social Gloves.
So
This-
this is the third one then?
Yes.
Okay.
This is a boxing match, however. This is when Austin tried to switch his career from basketball to boxing. This event would be YouTubers versus TikTokers.
Oh my god.
And Austin really wanted to fight Bryce Hall. Bryce Hall is just kind of like a TikToker, as far as I'm aware.
Right.
The only thing I know him for is Social Gloves, and he kind of had a thing with Tana Mojo.
Oh, that's probably why he's famous then.
He was famous when they started hanging out, but he got famous on TikTok, so
Oh,
that's
so
why he was
it's
on the TikToker
not
side.
as right.
Right. This was to be the headline fight, the main fight, what everyone was coming for.
Tana has a YouTube video or YouTube channel, doesn't she?
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
And like all of that shit.
Oh yeah.
She
She's
does
got
indeed.
podcasts, YouTube. She used to have a show on like MTV, I think.
Okay. I was like,
so.
she's like pretty famous.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Austin would claim that he wanted to fight Bryce because Bryce talked smack about him online and he just didn't like his attitude, I guess.
Right.
Which I guess if it's for boxing, I guess you don't really need a better reason than that. But initially, Bryce would tell him that no, he didn't want to fight. He didn't want to be on the card with Austin. So Austin offered him $5 million and an extra $1 million out of his personal pocket if Bryce won.
The fuck?
Like any sane person, Bryce accepted the fight.
Right.
And Austin did win, so he didn't have to pay Bryce that extra $1 million. But Austin was also a college athlete, whereas Bryce was a TikTok dancer.
Right.
However, Austin failed to pay anyone for the event at all.
Oh.
No
my
one got paid.
God.
What happened was that Austin kept running his mouth, offering people millions, literal millions of dollars to participate in this event, but they barely even broke even. They didn't break even.
Oh my god.
Another
He should have had to pay them out of his pocket, dude. He promised them the money.
That's why he got sued. That's why he got sued so badly by the Social Gloves.
Good.
Another boxer who fought in Social Gloves was Anason Gibb. A YouTuber and boxer, as far as I'm sure. I'm not sure which one came first.
Right.
From the UK. Austin, from what I can remember, was really trying to build his boxing career at this time. Like, he didn't want to be a YouTuber. He didn't want to be in basketball. He wanted to be a boxer, to the point that even his brother Landon was trying to be a boxer.
Right.
Keep Landon in mind, that boxer rocks. So in September of 2022, Austin and Gibb would enter the ring because Gibb felt like he deserved a fight against Austin. He felt like in the last match, he'd been cheated out of his win.
Right.
And he also felt like he had been getting disrespected by Austin, but I feel like that's just kind of how boxing goes.
Right. I mean, most people.
Right? You're not really going to want to fight this person with all you've got if they are not kind of talking smack about you.
Right.
From what I could tell, Gibb had a previous head injury, so he needed extra exams to make sure that he would be good for the fight. Right? Gibb had to undergo more physical exams in the UK and LA, so both countries, which caused some pretty big delays.
I would imagine.
In fact, it would cause Austin to postpone his own wedding.
Whoa.
Seriously?
I guess fighting Gibb was just so much
So
more important than
important.
marrying
That is
Catherine.
not more important than marrying your freaking wife.
No way.
If your wife is Kathy, it might be. Me and Kathy got beef. On behalf of Shyla. I got beef, bro. Austin would claim that this pissed him off, and he was so upset about it. But the day they were supposed to fight, Austin was seen at clubs, partying, drinking like he was celebrating something. Austin would also claim his team wanted to put someone else on the card in Gibb's place, that they were just done trying to get Gibb into this ring. But that he didn't want to do that. He was willing to postpone his own wedding for this fight. And when Gibb finally passed all of his physical exams and was cleared to fight, Austin addressed him via public Snapchat post saying that he was pissed off that Gibb had wasted his time and energy and his team's time and energy, and now he was going to whoop him in extra hard in the ring. Again, I don't know anything about sports, but I had to look into this one. So, having said that, bear with me. Austin would knock Gibb down once in the first round. And I mean knocked him down on the mat. In round 3, Gibb would knock Austin down twice. And another 3 times in round 4. So I'm not just saying made him stumble, knocked him really good. I'm talking on the floor.
Oops, sorry.
As you should.
Oh yeah. Needless to say, Gibb humbled Austin. Humbled
Attaboy,
him.
Gibb.
Shortly after this, Austin quit boxing. Said he got an injury in the fight, as far as I could tell. He said it came from this fight.
Oh, yeah.
And quit boxing. I have to give the world's biggest trigger warning here. We're about to talk about an essay. We're going to talk about it really briefly. We're not going to get into too many details. Around August of 2019, a person named Cole Kerrigan would post a video accusing Austin, 2 of his friends, and his father of essaying 2 women. Cole explains what happened to these women in kind of detail and how we came to find out about everything. Cole explained and mentioned that he had reached out to Keemstar, if you guys know who that is from Drama Alert, with everything. But Keemstar had decided not to go with the story, so Cole accused him of being paid off. Cole included a screenshot where he actually asked Keemstar how much the Ace family had paid him, and Keemstar jokingly responded, $500K.
What the fuck, dude?
Keemstar would have to post the rest of the screenshot where he says, Cole, I'm just joking, you know that, right? I don't know if those were his exact words, but he
Right.
posts the screenshot where he's
Right.
like, you know I'm joking, right?
Like, this isn't real.
Cole didn't post those parts of the screenshots, though. The victim of the essay, or at least one of the victims of the essay, would come forward and state that Austin did not touch her. She did not know that the other woman and Cole were speaking about the situation, and she did not know that her very personal trauma was going to be blasted all over Trauma Alert for everyone to
If
see.
he didn't touch you, how is it trauma?
She did get essayed, but not by Austin.
Oh, okay.
That is what
I'm
she stated.
sorry, I misunderstood that part.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
sorry, Andy.
She was essayed, but not by Austin. She states that Austin never touched her. She also exposed Cole because Cole had messaged her stating that if they talked to the McBrooms, they could probably get money to keep quiet. Austin would post a very lengthy statement to Twitter talking about how they were taking legal action against people trying to extort him, which is what that is. That is extortion.
Right.
Again, the victim stated herself that Austin did not do anything, but he was there.
Right.
He was there with the 3 other men.
Right. Didn't do anything to stop it.
No. And why was he there? That's
weird.
To watch and get off on it.
I have no idea. All she states is that he was not the one to touch her.
Or she was already paid for it.
I don't think so. Her statement read very much like she was forced to come say something because people were getting accused of things they didn't do. And she didn't get the chance to bring her own story forward, which I hate. I hate that so much. As someone who's gone through that, that's like the worst feeling. To have someone else blast your story all over social media before you've even fully processed what happened to you.
Yeah.
Now we're going to take a mini detour from the Ace family, and I'm going to tell you guys why I got such beef with Kathy. With Kathy.
Go off, queen.
Oh my god. Austin has a little brother named Landon. From what I can tell, and I looked, you guys, I dug. The only thing Landon is known for is being related to Austin. He has nothing special about him, allegedly. And according to myself and Google.com, Shyla Walker was and is a social media star on the rise.
Wow.
Wow. Landon and Shyla met in 2016 and had their only child together in 2019. They would break up in 2021. In her video titled The Truth, Shyla talks about how Landon was physically, emotionally, and verbally abusive. She would even include clips of Landon admitting in their old vlogs that he was verbally abusive to her. She said that he wasn't a really involved parent either, and she recalls that when she had her C-section, she wasn't allowed to get up on her own and needed someone there for her. Physically, she needed someone to help her. That he left. He left her at the hospital alone.
What the hell?
She compares it to how she took care of him when he was diagnosed with cancer. She took care of everything. From finances to cooking, helping with the baby, cleaning. It was all Shyla. She talks about a comment Landon made to her once when they were discussing breaking up. Or, I'm getting ahead of myself. She talks about a comment Landon made in his video discussing the breakup, where he claimed it was a worse blow than cancer. This bothered Shyla, obviously, as she felt he had an incredible team and an incredible support system there for him, and felt like it was disrespectful to make it seem like things were so much worse for him. And I don't think she even means in regards to like his cancer situation, but to compare their breakup to that.
Or even how they were cared for.
I don't think he necessarily talks about how he was cared for in that regard, but like to have such a nice, and like no cancer experience is nice, but to have such a nice cancer experience and then be like, oh, this breakup is just as bad as cancer.
What?
That's crazy. And that's why she was like, I think that's disrespectful.
Right.
Shyla talks about how empowered she became and how empowered she felt through educating herself on narcissism and toxic relationships. She tells a story about how when she knew things were coming to an end, she said during an argument or a discussion, Landon said he wanted to do whatever he wanted. He wanted to live his life like Austin. She said she was heartbroken and felt like she was losing her family and her best friend.
Right. As any woman would.
Shyla said she solidified her decision when one night Landon held her while she cried and promised they would work things out. Things were going to be okay. And he truly meant it, and he loved her. Later that night, she'd be scrolling on Instagram and she would come across his, where he had deleted all of their posts together and posted on his story asking if anyone wanted to go out on a date.
Whoa.
What the hell?
Same night, by the way. Finances were mostly on Shyla, if not entirely on Shyla. if not entirely on Shyla. Landon would help out a little bit for the YouTube channel, but hardly. She was funding everything, including his boxing career. So, Shyla told Landon that she was moving her money to her own separate bank account, and he needed to find a way to make money. Pay his own bills, be a man.
Fuck yeah, bitch.
He seemingly didn't ever actually do that, and eventually ended up asking Shyla if he could just pay her back when he does get money.
What? When are you gonna get money? Because you can't.
Continued to escalate over time. And one day, Landon decided that things had gone too far, and he would go out and take out a loan at the bank so he could just pay Shyla back and she could move out. Landon never went to the bank to get a loan. Out of respect for Shyla, I will not be including, or I will be including as little about her child as possible. But it is vital to the story that you understand there was an alleged plot by Landon and his mother and an employee of Shyla and Landon's, who was named Joe, to kidnap Shyla and Landon's
Whoa.
daughter.
What the fuck?
Yes.
What?
Yeah. In the United States, if you and the other parent of your child do not have a formal custody order signed by a judge, either parent can just pick up that child and walk away at any time.
Not ever come back.
Yes, the law views both parents as having 100% legal custody, and since possession is 9/10 of the law, whoever is holding that kid gets that kid at that point.
Unless proven unfit.
It is an extremely flawed system, and many parents have taken advantage of and abused that.
Yep. And the more and more you move around, the harder it is for them to pin you down.
Yes. Shyla also discovered in this process that Landon and his mother had been going through her personal bank records without her knowledge,
Whoa.
allegedly trying to steal her money.
Yo, no, thank you.
At one point, Landon and his mother decided to sit down with Shyla and her mother to discuss the loan and everything else going on. Landon's mommy tells Shyla and her mom that they won't be paying anything back
What?
because Shyla didn't have it in a contract.
Are you funny?
Shyla and her mom pretty much look at Landon and say the exact same thing. They're like, really? After everything you've told us, you're not going to pay it back. And he is sitting there like a toddler. Like the cat who ate the canary.
Like a dog with his fucking tail between his legs.
No, he's smiling from ear to ear.
No
like he just
fucking
won.
way, dude.
He is sitting there. So the way she describes it is he's sitting there like this. With his mommy telling him off. Smiling like a spoiled little brat. Shyla says she remembers how evil his smile looked. Shyla addresses people who say that she's seemed off in their videos for the last few months and says that she was being abused. She was trying to hold back the floodgates because she didn't want her abusers to suffer because she loved them.
I can't, dude.
When Shyla finally did go back to the house her and Landon shared, she waited to make sure that she could see Landon and everyone else leave before calling her brother and asking him to come help her pack while her mother took the baby back to her mother's house. While Shyla was packing, Landon and his mommy and Joe showed up to repossess the car that they had told Shyla she could keep.
No fucking way, dude.
So Landon's mom had signed off on this car to help them get it, so
Right.
she
So it was
technically
in her
had the
name.
right, but they had told her that she could keep it.
But there was no writing.
And even Shyla acknowledged that she knew eventually they were
They were
going to
gonna come
repossess
take
this
it.
car.
Right.
Shyla didn't seem too upset. She gave her brother the keys, told him to take it to her. Landon's mom tried to say that there were two, so eventually Shyla comes outside and Landon's mom says that they're going to be calling the cops
Oh my god.
to help Landon come get the rest of his things because Shyla was acting violently.
Okay.
And we'll come back to Landon getting his belongings in just a minute. But Shyla says she remembers them tossing their daughter's car seat in the front yard, as if they had no concern of when or where they were going to pick her up.
What the fuck?
Yeah, as if they weren't going to see her anytime soon. They made sure to take the dog, though. They took the dog and all his stuff. Landon had made it out to seem like anyone could get a restraining order in his video, where he also claimed that this was worse than cancer. Shyla refutes this. And as someone who's been there, this is not true.
Not how that works.
No, you have to provide so much evidence in order to
Literally,
get a restraining order.
Like ridiculous amounts of evidence. Too much
ridiculous.
evidence.
Shayla talked about having to continue living in the house that they had once shared. How she lived in fear and would stay awake at night, terrified something may happen to her.
Ugh.
She recalls one night where the dog just would not stop barking. It wouldn't stop, but she was too afraid to go see what was out there.
Right.
The next morning, she found either Austin or Landon's merch sitting outside on the front porch.
Oh, fuck no, fuck no, fuck no.
Circling back to when Landon retrieved his belongings, Shyla believes this is when he took 2 pew-pews from their safes.
Oh my god.
Only one of these weapons was registered, so when Shyla's attorney asked him to sign a DV-800, he signed right away. Shyla explains a DV-800 is basically a written legal statement saying, bless you,
Thank you.
saying I own this weapon and have never owned any other weapons. So when Shyla submitted pictures of 2 different cases and 2 different ammunitions, Landon said, oops, I forgot I had that pew-pew, but I got rid of it forever ago. Don't worry about that.
What?
Then Shyla just so happened to find a picture of the 2 pew-pews side by side, and it was dated. This date just so happened to be 9 months after Landon claimed he had gotten rid of them.
No fucking way, dude.
Mm-hmm. Court documents would later come out, revealing further abuse that Shyla had endured. I'm not going to discuss any of it. It was really triggering for me to go through myself. Just know that I have no doubt in my mind that everything Shyla went through was real. The McBroom family treated her so terribly. It was awful. At one point during Austin and Landon's boxing career, he posted a Snapchat of everyone who came to watch him train. One of which was Shyla's daughter. The daughter she had expressly asked to be kept offline. She didn't want her daughter to be another tool for clout chasing. Shyla was desperately trying to give her daughter what she referred to as a normal and private childhood. But the McBrooms would blast her all over social media at any and every opportunity. Allegedly.
Putting her child in that situation.
She didn't have any choice. She has to give him back to the father at some point.
Oh, I didn't realize
Yeah.
this was... I'm sorry, I'm really tired.
So, Shyla is the mom. Landon is the father.
Okay.
Landon is Austin's brother.
Yes, no, now I'm up to speed.
After Shyla saw that Austin had posted her daughter to his Snapchat again, she messaged him, told him to stop posting her child. He had 3 for clout. Use them. Leave her as innocent.
Right.
That's when Catherine took it upon herself to make a huge, this is like a 15 minute long Instagram story.
Oh my god. Instagram story?
Catherine would post to this Instagram story addressing Shyla's lies. She calls Shyla immature and said she is suffering the consequences of her own actions.
What?
She says if she has beef with Catherine says if she has beef with someone, she brings it to them. She even did this with Shyla in the past when she commented about 1212 Gateway. You know, that company she tried to take over?
Right.
She says that she prays for Shyla. Catherine talks about the Snapchat of Shyla's daughter and acknowledges that Shyla asked them to stop posting her. But then she calls her a hawk and accuses her of monitoring their social media to find a reason to talk trash about them.
If you're posting her daughter, you're posting her daughter, bro. She doesn't have to search through your social media to find that shit. She knows what her kid looks like.
Right. Catherine said Shyla doesn't know what clout is, and that there's clout, and then there's family. She accuses Shyla of jumping on the bandwagon when the Ace family was popular, and when Landon broke up with her, she decided that her daughter was clout now, and that when it doesn't benefit her anymore.
Dude, are you kidding?
Oh, yeah. It gets so much worse. Catherine then says that doesn't make any sense. And she's so close to getting the point that I could actually have an aneurysm. Like, you can see her doing the mental gymnastics.
It like through her like forehead veins.
Yeah, trying to blame Shyla. She goes on to say that she's sorry for Shyla. She's sorry Shyla sees it that way, but but it is what it is.
Oh, that's an apology, huh?
Yeah, she's sorry Shyla sees it that way, but it is what it is. Catherine then goes on to insinuate that they cannot include Shyla and Landon's daughter in family events if her and Austin can't record it.
What?
She doesn't say that word for word, but that's essentially what she's saying.
That's wild.
It is. It's on, like, the idea that you can't record this kid is causing you to make a 13-minute rant.
On the internet for everyone to see.
She also tries to make Shyla seem at fault for this. She says that they're so successful because they put family first. She says she then says Shyla is creating attention for clout. So suddenly she remembers what clout means. You know, online attention. I'm glad to see you haven't lost it, Kathy.
I'm sorry, but like, if she's asking you not to post her child, how is she looking for clout?
Right? I don't want you to post my kid. How is that me seeking out clout? That's the opposite.
Literally. I think it'd be one thing if she was like begging them to like come and like record her and her daughter. Like, that's different. But like, all she asked was for you to stop posting her child. She didn't even say stop taking pictures of her child. She just said stop posting them.
Okay, even more angry. Catherine then says she understands that Shyla has grown and doesn't want her child online anymore, and she completely respects that, and that is such a beautiful thing. But then says that Shyla is contradicting, so let's make that clear, and immediately changes the subject without making it clear.
What?
So yeah, she totally respects that, and it's so beautiful that you don't want to keep your kid online. But I'm going to keep posting your kid
online and find you in your decision.
And how dare you?
I'm gonna keep disrespecting you. Yeah.
Catherine denies getting IVF treatment to conceive their last child, who was a boy, unlike their first two girls.
Right.
She then says that that's the dumbest thing she's ever heard.
Whoa.
And this is the most disrespectful thing
That's heartbreaking.
I have ever heard.
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready for this?
Maybe, I don't know. I'm kind of mad at the first part.
And we might have to take a break after this part. She says that it's so disrespectful to women who cannot conceive a child on their own and actually do need IVF to say that Catherine got IVF.
What?
Catherine states that it is disrespectful to women who need IVF to state that she got IVF. The only person that offends is you, Catherine.
No, literally. I'm sorry, but I think they would probably be more offended at the fact that you got IVF over anybody accusing you. Like,
I think they'd be more offended by you acting like it's this bad thing you got IVF.
Or like it's not
I'm sorry,
a normal conception. Like,
at that point, everyone else can go fuck themselves. If you paid because you had two girls and you would really want a boy and you have the money to do
that's your thing. Like,
you can pay for IVF. That's your prerogative.
But like, don't act like it's secret or
or some bad thing that happened.
Right.
And I think people who do need IVF,
like people who adopt their kids and like just try to convince their children that they're their biological children.
Exactly. I think anyone who's like, oh, I struggle with fertility would not be mad that Catherine used IVF to get a boy.
Right.
I think they would be more mad that she was like, oh, how dare you say that about me? Then they'd be like, it's not a bad thing to get IVF, bitch.
Yeah.
She then talks about all of the stuff she was doing around that time as kind of like a way to say, see, I was busy. I couldn't have gotten IVF, but I did get pregnant.
What?
She said Shyla accused Austin of trying to unalive someone, which I could not find anywhere about that. So I can't say if she did or didn't. But Catherine obviously denies this.
Right.
She felt this comment was so out of line that she needed to record this 13-minute long rant. Because Shyla needs to be stopped
and Catherine can help her heal.
Wow.
Catherine also denies the Ace family being broke, and that the only people who support Shyla are also liars and Ace family haters. She then says her lies are turning Shyla into a monster,
Oh.
and that she knows she isn't a monster.
Okay.
She says she knows money is Shyla's biggest motivator, and all she talks about, thinks about, and cares about. But if she doesn't understand what money truly is, because it's not a currency, you're all wrong. It's not currency. According to Catherine, it's an energy exchange
Ooh.
that comes in waves, and you're wealthy because they love to give back.
Yeah, okay.
Because they give back. Catherine says she is the backbone of her family, and she has to stand up for them. She says, and this is a direct quote, word for word, Shyla, you know you've been carrying this lie about Landon being abusive, and you know that's not true. And you gotta let that go. You have an amazing father to your daughter.
Yo.
And you need to start accepting this is your reality and that you created it because this is all done by you.
Okay. Sounds familiar.
Catherine goes on to accuse Shyla of being happiest when Landon was diagnosed with cancer. And that's why he didn't want to be with her anymore.
Okay.
And that it messed with Shyla's money, so she created this false narrative.
Sure, dude, sure.
Catherine then claims to be a girl's girl, which I have yet to see anywhere.
No, literally, where?
At any point.
Where? Literally, in the same breath, calls a woman a liar, but then
Victim blames.
calls
Victim
herself a
blames her.
girl's girl. Okay. Okay.
But some women can be dark.
You.
And take advantage of innocent men and use their power to get what they want. She says Shyla needs to stop being unfair to Landon. And he isn't perfect. And no one is. But
These
Shyla
boy
is
moms are
taking-
getting out of control, dude.
This is Landon's sister-in-law. This is Catherine.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah, this is Kathy. This is why I don't like her. This is where my beef stems. But no one is. And Shyla is taking things too far. Now, I mentioned earlier, but I am a survivor of DV, and this next statement from Catherine actually made me sick to my stomach. I had to take several hours away after this because I became so upset. Catherine says that Shyla is taking advantage of and diminishing real DV survivors' stories.
Whoa.
Because she doesn't know what it's like to be doing the dishes, and your husband just comes in and slaps you across the face for no reason.
What the?
Yeah, because Shyla hasn't experienced that.
That
She doesn't know what
specific-
DV is.
No.
And hey, Catherine, you absolute box of frogs. That's not the only thing that constitutes as
Domestic violence.
Catherine calls Austin and Landon's mommy, Nicole, a girl's girl as well. Which just
Okay.
know, this is the woman who tried to help Landon kidnap Shyla's daughter.
A child, yeah.
So just know. No, she is not. Objectively,
No,
no she is not.
No.
Catherine, shut up. Catherine says she tried to help Shyla, that mommy tried to help Shyla, and if Catherine and Austin ever broke up, Nicole would be the first person to support Catherine. Which, by the way, Kathy, can I get an update on that? Since, y'all are divorcing and all that.
Yeah.
Is your girl's girl still in your corner?
Let's hear it.
I would love to know. Kathy wraps up her stupid video by saying that she had no other choice but to respond and that this would be the first and last time because Shyla took her out of her character. She tells Shyla to stop talking about her family.
Nobody can take you out of your character without your permission, hun.
But also, this all started because Shyla asked Austin not to post her. Stop talking about my family, but I'm gonna keep posting your daughter
without your permission.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, if you didn't know, Snapchat kind of fell off for a pretty good while. So in order to kind of coax people to come back to their platform, they started paying influencers big bucks to post on there.
Jesus Christ.
Landon McBroom took full advantage of that by clickbaiting the hell out of pregnancy. And not just anyone's pregnancy, but Shyla's pregnancy.
No way, dude.
It started with him posting old pictures covering up her face, you know? Just kind of clickbaiting. Oh, look, someone's pregnant on Landon's story. Let's go see what it is.
Like, who is it? And watch the whole fucking.
At one point, Landon even posted that he was helping a friend through their labor.
Oh my god.
And he was going to the hospital with her to watch her give birth. And he was the only one with her. Nedison quickly pointed out that these were clips from Landon and Shyla's vlog of Shyla's birth.
Yep.
Shyla would state in her own post that these were not posted with her consent and that she had already sent out a cease and desist. And this is an ongoing issue. Landon then stated he and his girlfriend, his current girlfriend, are already trying to have a baby together.
Whoa.
She not only just got through her liposuction and is working on getting her BBL,
Not with a baby on the way.
but they've only been together a few months. She's not pregnant.
Oh my god.
She's not pregnant.
No, but if she's trying to have a baby, they won't give her a lipo.
Well, she did get lipo.
Or, sorry,
happened.
BBL.
But, why would you go through lipo and getting a BBL to immediately get
Have
pregnant?
a baby.
Right?
No.
Well, Landon would respond to a couple of people commenting, asking about, certain things about his girlfriend, clickbaiting pregnancy, things like that, right?
Right.
One person would ask why he never posts his own daughter's face. Landon would respond, stating that he can't post his daughter's face because he doesn't want to be at risk of being sued.
What?
Because Shyla sent a cease and desist.
He can't just say he wants to respect his daughter's privacy like a normal parent.
He also doesn't mention the cease and desist or the fact that
I hope it was catching me that whole time. Sorry about that. I don't know when that died.
Oh, I just did the same thing.
Hanny Hoozles. Landon would conveniently not mention why he was sent to cease and desist or asked to stop posting their daughter.
Right.
Earlier this year, rumors of Austin cheating and a divorce began to swim again, as per usual.
Right.
However, this time, Catherine and Austin themselves would confirm them to be true. Catherine's post talked a lot about this being a mutual and amicable agreement,
Right.
and that they would remain strong co-parents, and that Austin would always be her best friend. Austin's post, on the other hand, talked more about himself, starting a new story, how they were writing different stories now, but they would still be friends. He would also focus on how he was gonna, or he would also talk about how he was gonna focus on him, working on himself. He would talk about how locked in he was, and how anyone around him, if you saw him, he was so locked in right now. And this would immediately become a huge meme. However, netizens quickly realized that Austin's post announcing the breakup, it was posted alongside a picture of him and Catherine's engagement.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So how did Shyla react to the news of the divorce? The most iconic way possible. She responded in a Snapchat video eating Ben & Jerry's ice cream with the foot filter on her face. In this video, netizens hoped that Shyla and Catherine could have some sort of reunion and reconcile their differences.
Right.
And Shyla just straight up says no. That this girl was a Regina George mean girl to her since she was 18 years old. And she hid it behind the guise of spiritual girly guru. She also states that Austin and Catherine are the same person and they should stay together. She thinks they should work it out and stay together.
Yeah.
And I'm on her side. I don't know them personally, but I bet she's right.
No, right.
Catherine and Austin would both go on to answer many, many, many questions about their divorce. This has been going on for days. But they weren't giving the same answers. For example, someone asked Austin what would happen to the Ace Family YouTube channel. He would say that the kids were going to take it over. when Catherine was asked, she said that that was done. Nothing was happening with that. Catherine would post about feeling free, but also grieving, saying she's hopeful for her future, but that she had been mentally and emotionally checked out of her relationship for years. And some netizens would go back on older vlogs and talk about how differently things seemed now, how she almost seemed to just go with whatever Austin suggested, which I think is a cop-out.
Right. Especially with all the other shit that she's doing away from Austin.
Yeah, and I hope if you catch yourself feeling sorry for her, you remember the shit she said to Shyla.
No, literally.
The shit we went over minutes ago. Catherine deserves no pity. Austin would talk about going to church and how locked in he was, which would also get memed, rightfully so. But when Austin realized how popular it was to make fun of him, he almost entered this character mode. He would just play things up for the camera, acting like an absolute ridiculous clown, saying that he was so sick he needed to go get tested
for the C word, literally saying the C word.
And then minutes later, he would be doing somersaults over his camera,
Oh my
doing
god,
somersaults
same
and backflips. And
Just
eventually,
fine.
when it was time for Austin to finally move out, he took us on a little house tour, talking about how these are the houses in the area he wants to check out. These houses were 5 minutes away from Catherine's.
What the fuck?
Eventually, he would get one of these houses, and he would take us along for the process of picking out furniture and stuff. Well, in this process, we were under the impression he got the house, right?
Right.
A few weeks later, Austin would say that he lost the house.
Oh.
Wouldn't give us a reason, but said he lost the house and would now have to live in an RV
RV.
outside of Catherine's home. Within the same day, he got a ticket for parking on the street and would have to move to a neighbor's property where he could keep his RV. According to them, Austin was going to be... Also around this time, Austin was supposedly supposed to be staying with DDG, Halle Bailey's baby daddy.
Oh.
You know, the Little Mermaid's baby
daddy.
father.
Yeah.
And they did post videos together. Austin and DDG did
Right.
post videos together. But Halle only posted about the nail salon that day. She didn't post anything about Austin.
Awesome.
Eventually, DDG would help him write a song called Still My Ace, and it is terrible and cringy, and we will not be listening to it.
Thank God.
But he forced his kids to listen to it and react to it on camera.
I'm sure, yeah.
Although this is, the most traumatic thing a kid can go through. Let's turn it into profit. Austin's behavior would just continue to spiral and become more and more unhinged, posting that he had baked cookies for Landon, but the cookie dough was obviously raw, and he pulled them off of the oven rack with his bare hands.
Jesus Christ.
Or would just keep happening to seemingly keep Austin relevant. The AC broke, so now he's sweating his butt off again. Then he was running around with some lady, acting like he was afraid of her, but doing whatever she told him, like a pair of children in middle school. He went into an interview at CVS right before he was caught talking down to a CVS employee.
Jesus Christ.
He would dress up in costumes and go act a fool in the grocery store. He even had a meeting with Snapchat where he said that he wanted to change the name of Snapchat to Austin Chat. Now, I don't believe that this meeting was fake, but I do believe what he posted was a skit.
Okay.
Around March, Kathy would start subtly calling Austin out, posting things to her Snapchat like, yes, Austin and I pick the kids up from each other's houses, not RVs. Near the end of March, Austin and Kathy would take their kids out to eat together, which is sweet. We love that for them.
Family time. Right.
Catherine would just post like she was out at dinner.
Right.
But Austin would post Catherine. A short time later, Kathy would post a picture to her story that said, "When you're up in real life." Austin would react to this on his Snapchat story, saying it couldn't possibly be about him. She would never post about him.
Yeah.
Catherine would respond to messages praising her for putting up with how much she did over the years, asking how she did it. And she said, "You guys would have no idea. and asking if she knew what Austin was posting right now. Namely, a video where he declines a call from Catherine to keep scrolling on Hinge. Catherine says it's weird, but no, she doesn't keep up with his stories.
Yeah.
And she seems, for the most part, unbothered, or at least not concerned with his antics. Austin, as of right now, is still acting like a clown on Snapchat, whereas Kathy says she's in the process of writing or editing a book. I hope it is a novel-length apology to Shyla.
No, literally.
I will digress.
And Shyla's child, too,
Mm.
for that matter.
Facts. Netizens do seem to be praising Kathy for the way she's been conducting herself through the whole divorce, and I will give her praise for not beefing with her baby daddy.
Right.
That can be very difficult, but it does make a huge impact for the
Right.
children.
Right.
Just like Austin, Catherine has never, and more than likely never will, take accountability for her actions. But Catherine Paez has done just as much wrong as Austin McBroom, in my opinion.
I agree.
Catherine Paez is Catherine McBroom. And like Shyla said, I think that they're perfect
For
together.
each other, yeah. I agree.
So, what are your final thoughts?
I think they're all garbage, and Shyla deserves all the money.
Shyla deserves all the money.
All the money.
Pay Shyla.
Give her the money.
Give her all the money. Chaos fell asleep halfway through recording.
He's done.
We love you, Chaos. Thank you for being our first guest. And we will see you all next week.
Good night.
Good night.